Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus. Crafted by the pen of Mary Shelley, this Gothic horror novel emerged into the world in 1818, marking a new era in storytelling. Shelley birthed a tale that, beyond its immediate allure of horror and suspense, pondered profound questions about ambition, humanity, and the boundaries of scientific endeavor. Its titular character, Victor Frankenstein, a scientist consumed by his quest to animate the lifeless, and his creation, a being thrust into existence without a say. This groundbreaking work is celebrated not only as a cornerstone of Gothic literature, but also as a seminal piece in the science fiction genre, predating the formal recognition of the category by decades. Through countless adaptations in film, theater, and literature, Frankenstein has evolved far beyond its original pages. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein thus stands as a monumental achievement in literature, its legacy as vibrant today as it was over 2 centuries ago. The genesis of Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus, is a unique blend of personal experiences, intellectual discourse, and a fateful summer, culminating in one of literature's most enduring masterpieces. This novel, conceived in the early 19th century, embodies the spirit of an era marked by rapid scientific progress, revolutionary political upheaval, and deep philosophical questioning. Mary Shelley was born in 1797 to 2 of the period's most radical thinkers, philosopher and journalist William Godwin and feminist writer Mary Wollstonecraft. Unfortunately, Wollstonecraft died shortly after Mary's birth, leaving her legacy of progressive ideas for her daughter to inherit. Shelley's upbringing, surrounded by her father's intellectual circle, provided a fertile ground for her burgeoning literary talents and revolutionary ideas. The story of Frankenstein began to take shape in the summer of 1816, a year often referred to as the year without a summer due to the global climatic abnormalities caused by the eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia. Mary, then only 18, accompanied her lover and future husband, Percy Bysshe Shelley, to Lake Geneva in Switzerland. There, they joined a circle of friends, including the infamous poet Lord Byron and his physician John Polidori at the Villa Diodati. Amidst the backdrop of unseasonably cold and stormy weather, which confined them indoors for much of their stay, Lord Byron proposed a challenge. Each member of the party should write a ghost story. It was this challenge, coupled with the group's fervent discussions about the nature of life, the potential of galvanism, the concept of using electricity to animate dead tissue, and the boundaries of scientific exploration that sparked the idea for Frankenstein in Mary's mind. Mary Shelley's inspiration for Frankenstein also drew heavily from her personal life and the intellectual milieu she inhabited. At the time of writing Frankenstein, Mary Shelley did not have any surviving children, having experienced the loss of her first child, a daughter born prematurely in 1815, a year before the novel's conception. The themes of creation, responsibility, and the consequences of unchecked ambition can be seen as reflections on the era's scientific advancements. The tale of Prometheus. As a titan, Prometheus belonged to a primordial race of deities who presided over the cosmos before the ascendance of the Olympian gods. These beings, often depicted as giants, were the original rulers of the universe, embodying the natural elements and forces that shaped the world. Among them, Prometheus stood out for his wisdom and his deep connection with humanity, aspects that would ultimately lead to his enduring legacy as a benefactor and creator of mankind. The etymology of Prometheus's name, deriving from the Greek prefix pro, meaning before, and methus, related to thought or wisdom, highlighting his identity as a being of exceptional foresight and intelligence. Unlike his brethren, who were often characterized by their physical prowess or dominion over natural phenomena, Prometheus's greatest strength lay in his capacity for forward thinking and strategic planning. This attribute would prove both a boon and a bane in the mythological narrative. In the mythos, Prometheus is celebrated for his crucial role in the creation of humans. He fashioned the first humans from clay, imbuing them with life and a noble spirit, thus setting them apart from all other creatures on Earth. This act of creation was not merely a demonstration of power, but a profound expression of Prometheus's affinity for himself and his loved ones. Victor's quest for knowledge and his subsequent regret and pursuit of his creation across the globe form the crux of the novel. The creature, Victor Frankenstein's creation, often erroneously referred to as Frankenstein in popular culture. The creature is an intelligent and eloquent being who experiences deep loneliness and rejection by society due to his grotesque appearance. His desire for companionship and subsequent rage against Victor for denying him happiness drives much of the plot, including his revenge against Victor's family and friends. Elizabeth Lavenza, Victor's cousin, adopted into the Frankenstein family, and later his wife. Elizabeth is a symbol of domestic harmony and innocence in the novel. Her murder by the creature on her wedding night to Victor is one of the story's most tragic events, highlighting the creature's vengeance and the consequences of Victor's actions. Henry Clerval, Victor's best friend, known for his kindness and love of literature and nature. Henry serves as a foil to Victor, representing the humanistic side of science in contrast to Victor's obsession with surpassing natural boundaries. The creature murders Henry, further deepening Victor's despair. Alphonse Frankenstein, Victor's father, a moral and sympathetic figure who supports his family through their many tragedies. His death is a result of the grief over Elizabeth's murder. Caroline Beaufort Frankenstein, Victor's mother, whose death from scarlet fever deeply affects Victor and propels his desire to conquer death. Her passing foreshadows the series of losses that Victor will endure. William Frankenstein, Victor's youngest brother. His murder by the creature is the first in a series of revengeful acts against Victor's loved ones, revealing the creature's capacity for violence when seeking retribution. Justine Moritz, a servant and friend of the Frankenstein family, wrongfully accused and executed for William's murder. Her death emphasizes the collateral damage of Victor's actions and the creature's vengeance. Robert Walton, the captain of a ship exploring the Arctic, whose letters to his sister frame the novel. Walton's encounter with Victor, who recounts his tragic story, mirrors Victor's own hubristic tendencies. Walton serves as a parallel to Victor, with Victor's tale serving as a cautionary narrative for him. De Lacy family, a group of exiles living in a cottage consisting of the blind father De Lacy and his children Felix and Agatha. The creature observes and learns from them, experiencing a brief hope for companionship before being rejected due to his appearance. Their rejection deepens the creature's sense of isolation and fuels his desire for a companion. Safi, the lover of Felix de Lacy, whose story of escaping from her oppressive father to join Felix provides a subplot that enriches the novel's exploration of outsider experiences and the search for belonging. First published anonymously in 1818, with Shelley's name appearing in the second edition, published in 1823. This novel blends elements of Gothic horror and science fiction, exploring themes of ambition, responsibility, and the quest for knowledge, and is narrated through a series of letters from Robert Walton, an explorer, to his sister Margaret Saville. The novel begins with Walton's quest to find a northern passage to the Pacific Ocean. During this expedition, near the North Pole, Walton encounters Victor Frankenstein, who is in pursuit of the creature he created. Walton records Frankenstein's tale, which forms the core narrative of the novel. Victor Frankenstein, born in Geneva, Switzerland, to a wealthy and well-respected family, grows up with a deep interest in the natural sciences. At the University of Ingolstadt, he becomes obsessed with understanding the principle of life, leading him to construct and animate a creature from body parts collected from graveyards and slaughterhouses. Upon bringing the creature to life, Frankenstein is horrified by its appearance and abandons it. The creature, left to navigate the world alone, seeks acceptance but faces constant rejection and fear from those he encounters. Despite his initial benevolence, the creature's isolation and mistreatment drive him to vengeance against his creator for giving him a miserable existence. The creature's first act of revenge is the murder of Frankenstein's youngest brother, William. Justine Moritz, a family servant, is falsely accused and executed for the crime, deepening Frankenstein's guilt and anguish. The creature confronts Frankenstein, demanding he create a female companion to alleviate his loneliness. Frankenstein initially agrees, but fearing the potential consequences of creating a second being, destroys his work. In retaliation, the creature kills Frankenstein's best friend, Henry Clerval, and later, on Frankenstein's wedding night, his bride, Elizabeth Lavenza. Devastated by the loss of his loved ones, Frankenstein vows to pursue the creature and exact his revenge. His pursuit leads him to the Arctic, where Walton finds him. Frankenstein's tale serves as a cautionary story for Walton, highlighting the dangers of unchecked ambition and the pursuit of knowledge at any cost. Frankenstein dies aboard Walton's ship, and the novel concludes with the creature mourning over Frankenstein's body. Expressing regret for his actions, the creature tells Walton of his plans to end his own life by setting himself on fire in the remotest part of the Arctic, seeking peace in death. In the novel, the creature, often inaccurately called Frankenstein after his creator, is endowed with a number of abilities that reflect his artificial and unique genesis. Breaking down these powers and abilities as presented in the novel. Superhuman strength. The creature possesses strength far beyond that of a normal human. This is evident in several instances throughout the novel, such as when he easily tears apart trees and carries Victor Frankenstein without effort. Enhanced endurance. He can endure extreme temperatures and environments that would be fatal to humans, attributed to his unnatural constitution. His journey through the harsh climates of the Arctic Circle showcases this endurance. Rapid learning ability. Despite his initial lack of language and understanding, the creature quickly learns to speak and read English, as well as other languages, to a high level, demonstrating an extraordinary capacity for learning and comprehension. Emotional depth. The creature experiences complex emotions, including loneliness, sadness, anger, and a desire for companionship and acceptance. His emotional capacity is comparable to, if not exceeding, that of humans. Intellectual capacity. Beyond learning languages, he exhibits profound insights into literature, philosophy, and human society through his self-education, showcasing high intelligence and critical thinking skills. In various media adaptations of Frankenstein across film, television, and other media have taken liberties with the creature's abilities, often amplifying them or adding new ones to suit different narratives or genres. Regenerative healing. Some adaptations grant the creature the ability to heal rapidly from injuries, emphasizing his resilience and the scientific possibilities of his creation. Immunity to disease. In various stories, the creature is depicted as being immune to human diseases, a byproduct of his artificial creation. Superhuman durability. Beyond just strength and endurance, some adaptations portray the creature as nearly indestructible, capable of withstanding gunfire, explosions, and other forms of physical trauma without serious harm. Telepathic or psychic powers. A few adaptations, particularly those veering into science fiction or supernatural genres, have endowed the creature with telepathic or psychic abilities, allowing him to communicate non-verbally or influence human behavior. Revival from death. Particularly in horror and science fiction adaptations, the creature is sometimes shown to be able to be brought back to life after being killed, emphasizing the theme of defying natural laws. Control over electricity or elemental forces. Reflecting on the creature's birth from electricity, some stories and films give him the ability to manipulate electrical currents or other elemental forces, shape-shifting or disguise. Although rare, there are instances in adaptations where the creature can alter his appearance or disguise himself, allowing for a more direct interaction with unsuspecting humans. Each adaptation of Frankenstein brings its own interpretation to the creature's powers and abilities, often reflecting the themes, genre conventions, and technological or scientific understandings of the time. Literature. The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kiersten White. This novel reimagines the Frankenstein story through the eyes of Elizabeth Lavenza, Victor Frankenstein's adopted sister and fiancée. The book critically examines themes of power, manipulation, and identity, providing a fresh feminist perspective on the classic tale. Frankenstein in Baghdad by Ahmed Saadawi. Winner of the International Prize for Arabic Fiction, Frankenstein in Baghdad transports the essence of Shelley's narrative to the chaotic streets of US-occupied Baghdad. The novel introduces us to Hadi, a scavenger who collects human body parts from the city's bomb sites and stitches them together in a macabre attempt to create a body that can be given a proper burial. This Dark Endeavor and Such Wicked Intent by Kenneth Oppel. These novels serve as prequels to Shelley's original, focusing on a young Victor Frankenstein. They explore Victor's early fascination with alchemy and the supernatural, setting the stage for his later obsessions. Frankenstein's Cat by Emily Anthes. While not a narrative retelling, this non-fiction book examines the modern-day implications of bioengineering and genetic manipulation, echoing the ethical and moral questions raised in Shelley's novel. It presents a real-world look at how humans continue to tinker with life, drawing a parallel to Victor Frankenstein's experiments. The Casebook of Victor Frankenstein by Peter Ackroyd. Ackroyd's novel places Victor Frankenstein and his creation in the heart of 19th century London, weaving historical figures such as Percy Bysshe Shelley and Mary Shelley herself into the narrative. Dean Koontz's Frankenstein series offers a contemporary reimagining of Mary Shelley's classic, merging horror, science fiction, and thriller elements into a cohesive narrative that spans 5 gripping novels. The journey begins with Prodigal Son, 2005, where in modern New Orleans, Victor Frankenstein, now Victor Helios, continues his unnerving experiments with his first creation. City of Night, 2005 follows, escalating the conflict as Helios's new beings revealed their malevolence, pushing Deucalion and the detectives into a perilous clash within the city. The series intensifies with Dead and Alive, 2009, where the full extent of Helios's derangement and his army are laid bare, culminating in a desperate effort to thwart his scheme. In Lost Souls, 2010, humanity faces a dire threat from a fresh batch of engineered killers, testing Deucalion and his companions as they fight against Helios's distorted creations. The narrative arc concludes with The Dead Town, 2011, setting the stage for a decisive battle over humanity's destiny between Deucalion, his allies, and Helios's monstrous legion. Film, early adaptations. The story of Frankenstein has been adapted for film since the early 20th century, with the 1910 Edison Studios' Frankenstein being one of the earliest examples. Universal Pictures. The 1931 film Frankenstein, directed by James Whale and starring Boris Karloff as the creature, is perhaps the most iconic adaptation, shaping the popular image of the creature and spawning several sequels. Most notable is the classic Bride of Frankenstein, 1935, which some consider an early example of a superior sequel. Hammer Horror. The British film company Hammer Film Productions reimagined the Frankenstein story in a series of films starting in the 1950s, with Peter Cushing as Victor Frankenstein and Christopher Lee as the creature in their first installment, The Curse of Frankenstein, 1957, and continued on with The Revenge of Frankenstein, 1958, The Evil of Frankenstein, 1964, Frankenstein Created Woman, 1967, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, 1969, The Horror of Frankenstein, 1970 without Peter Cushing, and ending with Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, 1974. Modern interpretations. Films like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, 1994, directed by and starring Kenneth Branagh with Robert De Niro as the creature, attempt to stay closer to the source material, while others like Victor Frankenstein, 2015, offer new takes on the classic tale. Television, series and mini-series. Frankenstein has been adapted into numerous TV series and mini-series, exploring the story in various formats. Notable examples include the 2004 Hallmark mini-series Frankenstein, which offers a modern adaptation of the story, and Penny Dreadful, which features the creature as a complex and tragic figure intertwined with other literary characters. Theater, stage adaptations. The novel has been adapted for the stage numerous times, ranging from faithful adaptations to creative reinterpretations. Notably, the National Theatre's 2011 production of Frankenstein, directed by Danny Boyle and starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller, who alternated roles as Frankenstein and the creature, received critical acclaim. Video games, video game adaptations. The Frankenstein mythos has inspired various video games where players can engage with the story in interactive formats. Games like Frankenstein, Through the Eyes of the Monster, 1995, and The Last Frankenstein offer unique takes on the creature's narrative. Other media. Comics and graphic novels. The story has been retold in numerous comics and graphic novels, offering visual interpretations of the tale. Examples include the Frankenstein series by DC Comics and the manga adaptation Frankenstein by Junji Ito. Music and ballet. The tale has also inspired operas, ballets, and musical compositions, reflecting its deep emotional and thematic resonances. The legacy of Frankenstein is a testament to the novel's enduring appeal and its capacity to be reimagined across different cultures, eras, and media. Its themes remain relevant, exploring the ethical implications of scientific advancement, the quest for understanding, and the essence of humanity, ensuring that the story of Victor Frankenstein and his creature continues to captivate and inspire audiences around the world. I'm sure we've not seen the last of them. If you enjoyed this video, then like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.